What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Aaron, the Life Coach. I'm a coach, author, and I've been sober for the past 7 years. This is Fast Brain Sobriety Coaching, where we help ADHD curious and fast brains learn to reset, rewire, and reclaim their lives from alcohol. Today, we're going to be talking about why our ADHD brains turn to alcohol and how to rewire it quickly. So let's jump into the video. Wonder why so many adults with ADHD end up drinking more than they want to. Well, guess what? It's not a weakness, it's just wiring. Today, we're going to be breaking down the real reason ADHD brains crave alcohol and how to rewire that loop for good and eliminate that need to drink and get your edge back. So if you ever felt like your mind just doesn't stop until you drink, this video is for you. For the overthinkers and the people that just think that they have to shut their brain off with alcohol. It's not going to work because ADHD is a different thing and we need to understand it. So let's start with what ADHD actually is. Clinically, ADHD described as attention deficit disorder, but honestly, that label really misses the point for me because if you have ADHD, you know that you can hyperfocus for hours on something what interests you. I know I get lost in all sorts of things. I have endless hobbies that I used to start and stop. I have businesses that I started and stopped. I have a graveyard of domains, right? You jump into an idea, you can hyperfocus. So I don't think ADHD is actually attention deficit, right? The real challenge isn't attention deficit, is actually attention regulation, right? And Dr. Ned Hallowell says that you have a Ferrari brain with bicycle brakes. And I really like that because that's why I created Fast Brain Sobriety, because our brain's a little bit faster. We have this huge engine behind our mind. And if we don't have the brakes to put in place, then this is just going to go out of control and crash into things. And we need to put the brakes on. We need to learn to regulate, right? So, and you got power, speed, and creativity, but with just weak brakes. And that's okay because we're going to learn how to put those brakes on. That's why I prefer the term fast brain, because that's what it feels like. It's fast, it's intensive, it's alive. And if you have ADHD or ADHD tendencies, or you're just curious about it, you know that your brain's a lot faster. You're always running with things on, right? You have creative ideas, you have vision, you have all these things in your life, and your brain just runs a little bit faster, right? So another expert, Dr. Jacob Ambrose, compares ADHD to having binoculars, right? So I want you to imagine you and your partner are sitting on a park bench, right? And you've got binoculars and they don't. And you're spotting details, patterns. You're seeing birds. You're seeing even dangers that they can't see. You might be seeing a bear in the trees, or maybe you're seeing something coming out of the water, right? And you're trying to tell these people that. And it's exciting, but it's also isolating because they don't get what you're seeing, right? They can't see it. You can say, hey, there's something way over there in the bush, and they're not able to see it. And that's the ADHD experience. You notice more, you feel more, you think faster, and it can make you feel a lot different. I know I felt different my whole entire life, and I always wondered why. Well, it's because I have ADHD tendencies, right? So, so why do our ADHD brains turn to alcohol? Now, let's combine that hyper awareness and emotional sensitivity and dopamine dysregulation, right? We combine all those together. Now you're overstimulated all day, and then you get drained or anxious or restless at night. That's because this overstimulation, we don't have those brakes to put on and shift gears into home mode, shift gears into after work mode. We just don't have that. So we just go rushing into our home life, rushing into the things after work, and we still have this overstimulation that's carrying on, and that boredom just feels unbearable, right? Overwhelm feels like you're drowning, right? It feels like you're just so bored at home. There's no stimulation, there's nothing to do, and your brain starts ruminating. You get caught into this cycle of overthinking, and then you just want to drink to shut that off. So your brain starts searching for relief and for a switch to flip, right? What kind of switch can we use? And alcohol becomes that easy switch, right? Because it numbs the noise just for a little while. I've heard people explain it like their mind is just like this crazy orchestra of noise, and then they have alcohol and it just turns it off. But here's the truth. It doesn't actually relax you. It suppresses your brain's prefrontal cortex and temporarily giving you this illusion of calm. It's just giving you an illusion of calm. It's not actually giving you calm. It's just a short-term reward, right? Then your dopamine crashes, creating what I call a craving rebound. That's why one drink turns into three. The brain's trying to chase balance again. It's trying to rebalance itself and get back to a regular state. And then you get poor sleep, guilt, and shame only make those cycles worse, right? So you're not getting a proper sleep. You're not getting that REM sleep that's restorative. You're getting this anxiety rebound, right? The anxiety's coming back even worse. Then you get the guilt and the shame because you can't figure this out. And then you just get caught in this Groundhog Day cycle, I like to call. And it's the drinking loop that this keeps happening over and over again because it's the only solution you have to the problem. So what's the first step to break this loop? Well, awareness, right? Awareness is the first step to breaking the loop. Just noticing why you're reaching for that drink is going to really, really help. So next time you go grab a glass, hit pause, right? And just take a power pause. Take a little bit of a deep breath, and remember that you can either react to life or you can respond to life, right? Reacting means I'm just going to have a drink. I'm overstimulated. I just need a drink. Responding means, okay, I'm going to just take a moment. I'm going to take a pause, and then I'm going to disrupt that thought. And I'm going to ask myself, am I trying to shut off or wake up, right? Is it boredom? Is it overstimulation or understimulation? You want to know one of those two things. That question alone can start rewiring your brain because you can put better habits in place. Once you're aware, the next move is to disrupt and reframe the thoughts. So you pause, you breathe, and you want to label what's really happening. Label it, say it out loud. I'm bored, or I'm overstimulated. I'm seeking control. Okay. Once you name those things, you can start to deal with those, right? And you want to reframe it. If I drink, will it actually give me what I'm seeking? Is it actually going to stop the overstimulation for the long term? No. Is it actually going to relieve my boredom? No. Maybe temporarily, but it's not going to relieve it in the future, right? And usually the answer is no. It's going to make things worse. That's your opening shift from reaction to intention. Now we can intend to do something about it, right? So what's the opposite? If it's not going to relieve your stress, what's it going to do? It's going to make me more stressed. If I'm not going to relieve your anxiety, what's it going to do? It's going to make me more anxious. And then play the tape forward. What's it going to look like tomorrow? What's it going to look like the next day if I have a drink? And what's it going to look like if I don't have a drink tomorrow? Those are two good ways to get that visualization, that intention, and that fast brain moving, so you can see the negative and the positive consequences of that, right? And then we're going to stop. Instead of fighting your wiring, we're going to use it, right? We're going to use our wiring to our benefit, right? Because your brain craves stimulation, so let's give it some healthy, meaningful stimulation. So we're going to engage in an activity. For activation, you're going to want to do exercise, connection, learning something new, reading a book, maybe starting working on that business, right? That's the activation. That's the stimulation that you're needing. Having a meaningful, absorbing project, right? Something meaningful, something absorbing, something that's a project that you can do in the future. For shutdown, if you want to shut down your brain and shut down this brain, this overstimulation, you want to have journaling, meditation, music, go for a walk outside. Those things are going to help you shut down your mind. Because listen, you're not broken. You just need to learn how to drive this Ferrari brain that we have, right? And your fast brain isn't your enemy. It can be your edge if you learn how to drive it, right? Because alcohol dulls that edge down. Awareness is going to sharpen it, and it's going to make things a lot better for you. So start today with a power pause, and then interrupted loop, rewire that pattern, because that's exactly how I did it, and that's exactly how a lot of people I work with do it. We just learn how to use our fast brains instead of fight against them. And a lot of us with ADHD or ADHD tendencies have never learned how to use these things. They never learned how to have proper tools to build positive dopamine, to build positive connection in our lives, and we just go through our lives reacting instead of responding to it. So today I just want you guys to learn how to react, how to respond instead of react, so that you guys can instead of reaching for a drink, you guys reach for healthier habits. If this hit home for you, please like and subscribe. Share with someone who's ready to take back control of their life. And I'm Aaron Osberg with Fast Brain Sobriety Coaching. Let's train our brains and not shame them. And I want to help you guys live an alcohol-free lifestyle without shame or labels. Anyways, guys, have a meaningful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.